Hi, in this video I try to explain why you should never gamble by telling you the logic behind casino games. And for this purpose, I use an online gambling site. Besides the logic of the game, I also describe why there are no strategies that won't fail eventually. You can't get rich on online betting sites because of the way these games are designed. Let's take a look at one of these games and see how the rules of probability work with this game. And also, let's be very optimistic and assume that the coding of the game is fair and there is no cheating on the server side. According to the rules of probability, if I play a game with a 50% chance of winning, after a great number of rounds, the number of wins and losses should be almost the same. For example, if I play 1,000 rounds, I should have about 500 wins and 500 losses. So, after a great number of rounds, I should still have as much money as I started with. Now, take a look at this roulette game. There are 36 natural numbers on the board. So, there are 18 even and there are 18 odd numbers. You can see that they are highlighted as I point to even or odd. If I bet on even numbers, I'm playing with a 50% chance of winning, and every time I can win as much as I have wagered. So after a great number of times, I'll only have as much as I started with. I'll have won nothing and lost nothing. But that's not all. There is also a green square called 0, which is neither odd nor even. That changes the odds drastically. There is a 2.7% that 0 appears. In this case, you don't win either with even or odd numbers. Now let's calculate again. I wager on even numbers 1,000 times. This time I get 27 zeros, 486 or maybe 87 odd and only 486 to 87 even numbers. Since I had wagered all the rounds on even numbers, I will have lost 2.7% of my money. This zero thing exists in all casino games and is called house edge, which is the casino's share of your money. Now, let's see how house edge works with another casino game. In a game of dice, random numbers appear between 0 to 100. Well, you choose a number by moving this slider. Here, I'm choosing exactly 50. I'm choosing 50, a number right in the middle of 0 and 100. So I'm cutting this slider in two halves. There's a 50% chance of losing and there's a 50% chance of winning. And if the appeared number is over your chosen number, you'll win. Now take a look at these two boxes. In a fair casino game, if there is such a thing, your win chance must have an inverse relationship with your payout, including your wager. Now, take a look at this. My win chance is 50%. My payout must be the inverse, which is 2. But if you take a look, my payout is not 2, it's 1.98, a little less than 2. So you can see that there is some house edge here too. This is almost like the 0 in the roulette game. It must be 2, but it's 1.98. Now I set my payout on 2. I mean, if I wager 1 Dogecoin, I'll get 2 Dogecoins in case I win. Of course, one was mine and I won only 1 Dogecoin. So, when I say there is an inverse relationship, it means that if I set the payout on 2, the win chance should be the inverse. I mean, 1 second or 50%. But, is it? No. Your chance will be 49.5. Half percent house edge. Now let's run a test. We're going to wager 1/10,000th of a Dogecoin for 1,000 times with a win chance of 49.5 and a payout of 2. We're going to see what happens. So I set my bet amount to 0.0001 and my payout on 2. I activate automated betting. Number of times I'm going to bet for 1,000 times, and the rest is okay. Now let's see what happens. Okay, now we played 1,000 rounds and take a look at these numbers. The number of my wins is 488, but the number of my losses is 512. These numbers show how the house edge is working. The number of losses is a little higher than the number of my wins. Of course, we don't expect it to be exactly the same. We cannot play 1,000 rounds with 500, 500, 500 wins, 500 losses, but a house edge always keeps your losses a little higher than your wins. And that's what happened here. 512 losses and 488 wins. And you can see that I lost a little of my money, not much. So the best casino game without a house edge will not make you a winner. You might lose or win, but in a great number of times you still have your own money, and with the house edge you will be a loser. You don't lose much, but you will be a loser. Okay, sometimes you might have a good start and have 10 or maybe 20 consecutive wins and go into the green zone, and you think that, wow, I could have made 10 times my asset, but that's not true. First, you can never start with all your asset. You have to start with a small portion of your money. Otherwise, you might lose it all in the first round. Second, there is no I won enough today, so I'm going home rich. When you gamble and you win, you think so it's possible to win big. Why not play more? And when you lose, you will want to play more so that you can make up for your loss. This is called revenge betting. So far, we realized that we can't win just by placing some money on the roulette table or any other game. That's when the smart guy comes up with a gambling strategy. Though these strategies all fail, yet some people find them really tempting. All these strategies are based on one rule of the science of probability. First, let's see what that rule is. Okay, we know that if I flip a coin, there's a 50% chance for head and 50% chance for tail. Just like odd and even numbers in a roulette game, not considering the zero square. Now, let's say heads are wins and tails are losses. You might say that, what's the probability of 2 consecutive tails or losses? That would be 50% multiplied by 50%, which is 25%. So, if I wager 2 coins on even numbers and I lose it, the next time there's a 25% chance that even numbers will lose. So I'll bet 4 coins on even numbers the second time, so that to win the previously lost coins and benefit 2 coins. Okay, let's say you also lose the second time. What's the probability of 3 consecutive losses? That is 50% by 50% by 50%, that is 12.5%. So this time you will wager 8 coins. Then you will win the previously lost 6 coins along with 2 coins benefit. Well, this idea might seem like a gold mine at first, but how many consecutive losses are possible? It depends on the number of times that you need to wager. For example, let's say you have 1,000,000 coins and you anticipate at most 3 losses before winning another 1,000,000 coins. You'll have to start with 1,000,000 divided by 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8, which is 67,000 coins. Okay, how did I come up with this number 67? Because the first time I bet some money, the next time I bet double that money, the next time I double that wager, and again I have to double that wager, and it should cover all my money. It should cover that 1,000,000 coins that I had started with. So if I start with 67,000, I can withstand 3 losses, but with 4 losses I'll be a loser. Let's try it on the dice game, where we can use the automated betting. Okay, how did I come up with the number 67,000? We know that with every loss, we need to double our wager. Since we anticipate 3 losses, to be safe, this would be our formula. You can see the formula at the bottom of the page. Another very important factor here is the probability of 4 consecutive losses, in which case we lose a great portion of our money. This probability is 1 divided by 2 powered by 4, which is 6.25%. This means that every 100 rounds of betting, almost 6 times, I get 4 consecutive losses and I lose all my money. That means every 16 rounds it happens once. But with a 50% chance of winning, and knowing that the number of wins and losses are almost the same, I need at least 30 rounds to win as much as I wagered. So I could lose all my money twice before I could win it. So you see, the odds are all against you. Now, let's try it in a real game. Now, not considering this dot, I have 1 million coins. Of course, this is a test. This is 1% of Dogecoin. We decided that we have to start with 67,000 so that before losing 4 times, I can double my money. And I set payout on 2. That makes my win chance 49.5, not 50. And I'm paying a percent of house edge here, and it gives you a probability to double your money on each loss. If I put it on 100, 100% of my bet amount is added to my money if I lose. Okay, let's see if it works as we expected, or will we have 4 consecutive losses or not. I start a bet. Okay, now we can see that our theory was not wrong. Just by playing 9 rounds, I got 4 consecutive losses and lost the greatest part of our money. Now, you might think that you can increase the number of consecutive losses to 10, maybe 20 or higher to reduce the chance of losing. Let's see what happens then. This time, let's say we have 1,000,000 coins again, and we want to double it. I'll set the numbers so that this time I can withstand 10 consecutive losses. So I divided 1 million by 1 plus 2 plus 2 powered by 2 plus 2 powered by 3 and so on up to 2 powered by 10, which equals 488. So I start with 488 coins. Now let's see what's the probability of 11 consecutive losses, in which case I will lose a very large portion of my money. That would be 1 over 2 powered by 11, which is 0.0005. This is the probability of losing all my money. Well, this looks like impossible. 5 out of 10,000. That means every 10,000 times it happens 5 times. Or once every 2,000 rounds. So every 2,000 rounds I'm going to get 11 consecutive losses. But to double my money, I need 1 million divided by 488 or 2,049 wins. But we know that with a 50% win chance, the number of our losses is almost the same as wins. So for 249 wins, I need at least 4,098 rounds of playing, not even considering the house edge. So once again you see that the odds are against you as a gambler. In 4,098 rounds, you might lose your money twice. Now we know why we can't win at a casino, because the best chance you may have to double your money is always less than 50%. Let's give it a try. Let's see if we can or cannot win by 11 consecutive losses. Now, let's put this strategy to test and see if we can withstand 11 consecutive losses. So I said that we have to start with 488 and the payout is set on 2 with a win chance of 49.50. We double our bet every time that we lose. Now let's start. Okay, you see it really happened. The probability of 0.005 or 5/10,000 is not impossible. It is possible and it happens, and we predicted that it will happen before about 4,000 rounds, and it happened right after 2,727 times. And I couldn't double my money. I just lost 337,000 coins. I started with 1,000,000, now I have 662,000. I didn't win anything, I lost half my money. And you might think that, okay, I will increase the number of consecutive losses. So if you increase the number of your consecutive losses, you're increasing the number of rounds that you're playing, and that finally will happen. And if you increase it to a very great number, you will see that it takes years before you can make half your money. To make this video, I studied many different strategies, chose the best of them, and yet that was a losing strategy. All the different strategies are just varieties of this one. So if this one is a loser, all the other ones are losers too. The probability of doubling your money in a casino game is always less than 50%. But there is no strategy that works for you, it's just a mere chance of 50-50 that can make you a winner or a loser. So don't waste your time in casinos. I find it suitable to mention some disadvantages of gambling in personal life and society. Number 1. The first and most important impact of gambling is on your financial situation. Gambling is so addictive that in many cases gamblers lose great portions of their property and savings, while they still think they are one step away from winning big. In many cases they don't give up, even after losing all they have, and start borrowing from friends and relatives to lose even more. Number 2. The psychological impact of gambling is so great that can change the character of a person thoroughly. Gambling makes people irritable and nervous, not only while they're playing. I mean wagering portions of your assets so many times in casinos, and the stress of losing those wagers, and also the regret you feel after losing, keeps the pressure on your brain for a very long time, which can be really distractive. Number 3. Gambling is a waste of time. One of the most precious resources people lose on gambling is the time they could have spent with family, friends, learning, or even making money. There are people who have spent days and nights in casinos without a moment of rest. Number 4. Gambling can become so mind-boggling that it takes one's family from him. You're sitting at a table with your wife telling you about a problem your son has at school, and all you think about is that right after I win a big load of money today, or tomorrow, a day that might never come. Number 5. Legal matters. In many countries, gambling is not legal, and online gambling can easily get you into a world of legal trouble. If you have any questions, or you know a website you don't know whether to trust or not, just leave a comment and wait for me to tell you all the truth about it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have fun. And don't forget to subscribe, push that notification button, because I'm going to upload more videos soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.